July the 17th, 1910, train number 111 left Louisville, Kentucky. And he first called, the North Flagman, something like this.
You are listening to Undercountry Music with Neil Smith, digging under the surface, finding the underground country music, news, and interviews, and bringing them to you.
Yeah. It's Undercountry Music. It's episode 111. That's like 3 candles. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if that means something or not, but you're here checking in with your show host, Neil Smith, coming to you from high atop my internet broadcasting tower, overlooking a dead tree in my backyard in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. You know what? We haven't had a good guest on in a while. And we're going to continue that streak right now because on the line from Wisconsin, we've got country and western artist Ben Stillwater. Give him a hand.
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I always try to make.
How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I always try to make my guests feel welcome here on the show.
Well, I feel good and welcome.
I know. So you
got the coffee on there.
Yeah, you're from Wisconsin, correct? But you're not actually sitting in Wisconsin right now.
No, I'm actually sitting in Greensburg, Kentucky right now.
So you're kind of like in the dead center of Kentucky.
I'd say we are, yeah. It's right in the middle.
Murfreesboro is the geographical center of Tennessee, so we are centering 2 states. We're like the yoga country people here. We're like all centered and stuff.
It's a balancing act, isn't it?
Yeah, so what town in Wisconsin do you hail from?
Well, we lived near a town called Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and you know, I was born in Montana, and so originally from there, but we've been living up there in Wisconsin around Eau Claire. We've got a farm there, a small farm, and that's like west central part of the state there.
So when you say you play country and western, you play both kinds of music, right? Country and western, as they say in the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, that's right, country and western. Yeah, I was influenced early on by Hank Snow, Lefty Frizzell, Porter Wagoner, Jim Reeves, all those types of singers, and I was just influenced a whole lot by the American West, John Wayne and director John Ford and Jimmy Stewart and James Arness. So that's kind of my perspective of country and western. It's both country and very much western put together.
Now, seeing how the whole industry is sort of really geared towards more pop and rock laced with fiddles and calling it country, and that's kind of where people's mindsets have sort of shifted these days by and large, at least if you go by the mainstream. What I want to ask you is, how is this more old style, western style, how has that been received by and large for you?
It's been received in a really big kind of way. We started out with a TV show I started called Giddy Up, and that's a live TV show. It's a stage show. We have an hour and a half live show with the songs I've written and a cowboy comedian, a cowboy camp on stage, and then we have a chuck wagon that cooks meals. It's a cowboy camp and a dinner and a show. And that traditional style of music has been accepted in a really big kind of way, and it's all about putting the connections together and moving forward with it, and it's been accepted really well.
Now, nice. Now I understand your stage show includes fake fire.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, we wanted to have a fire on stage to create a mood of a campfire with all the props. We even have horse-drawn wagons on stage.
So you're not like setting fake people on fake fire.
No, we haven't actually done that yet, but it's just a campfire ring.
You could have a hanging.
Well, we've had a couple shootings. I do pistol tricks. I'm a trick shooter with a handgun, and some of our very first TV show, Giddy Up, I played a sheriff in a town, and we had an actual town. It was an on-site town, and we had the whole cast and crew there, and we did a shootout in the town and stuff. So we've never hung anybody, but we have a reoccurring black bart on our show. Some of that information is on benstillwater.com about the show, and then this guy plays about 3 characters. He always plays an outlaw or a causing trouble, or he plays a wannabe singer or, you know, an aspiring musician or something. You know, he's kind of just a funny guy. He does skits on the show, and yeah, a lot of Western comedy is what it is.
Very cool. Now I want to get into one other, before we play our first song from you here on the show, I want to get into one other aspect of your background, because that's going to kind of play into the first song that I'm gonna break out here. Now, you grew up logging and cutting timber and running sawmills, so you're, basically you were just down there chopping down trees right and left, making the environmentalists crazy.
Yeah, well, that's right. You know, I grew up. I'm a fourth generation in the timber industry from Montana up in there, and you know, the ranching business or the cowboy side of our family was much like a lot of them. You know, it kind of economically, it's hard to continue a cowboy lifestyle as far as cattle. So we did cattle more so as a hobby, and the business side of ours was very much the timber industry, and it's really something being around the West and log trucks and the stories of bringing them out. And the song Log Truck was about real experiences. There's nothing really far-fetched at all about it. It's
so like that
story.
TV show about logging, it's really that dangerous?
It is. It's a very dangerous occupation, and it's one of the things. It's a very rewarding occupation because not a lot of people can do it or want to do it.
Yeah, I can.
And it's kind of in your blood, you know.
I can get that. Okay, well, you know what? We're going to go ahead and we're going to play our first song from Ben Stillwater out of Wisconsin right now. And it's a song that I played last week, but you know what? I just cannot stop playing this song. And I'm going to explain why I can't stop playing it after we listen to it. So if you heard the show last week, well, here it is again because, I just cannot stop playing this song. I just love it so much. And this song's called Log Truck. You're hanging out on episode 111 of Undercountry Music with Neil Smith and
Ben Stillwater.
It's a big Montana grade, and I'm rolling down the side. I got a load of logs chained down and headed for the sawmill. Rumbling of the boulders through the black sidewalls. But it's 16 miles at 6%, and I get on the brakes and beller on the jake brake. Pushing my feet right through the footboard, hoping that I got my brakes installed the right way. I got my gear and eye on the mirror, and I watch so low sway side to side. Rolling down the mountain like a cannonball. I put my boot on the binder, but it feels like a sponge. They're all heated up, ain't got no brakes. I turned the wheel on the switchback and I lost 2 logs over the top. I got a flat on the inside dual, but I ain't got time with the brakes to stop. Breaker 19 says log truck 2 and I ain't got no brakes. Rolling down the mountain like a cannonball. Now this truck ain't a freight train, but I've got a train horn right on board. Top of the roof, just pull the cord. I'll switch my flat in the mill yard and go back up the mountain road. I think I'll blow some smoke. Diesel smoke. I don't know why they don't haul these logs out of here on a train. Does this truck look like a train to you? Just because I got a train horn, don't make this truck a train. Remember that, Sonny.
Yeah, Log Truck. It's about a truck with logs on it.
Yeah, and a mountain and not really good brakes.
See how I pieced those two together there?
Yeah, you know, and
that's why I'm the show host.
Yeah. But it's quite a deal when you're coming down the mountain. The last thing you want to feel is your brakes are heated up and you ain't got no brakes.
But you do have gears, right?
Oh, you got gears, but it don't do you any good because that load is pushing you so hard down that mountain. It's so steep and crooked and rocky, and your load's swaying side to side. And you got to remember the logging roads are punched in by bulldozers, and a lot of times you got to accommodate for a boulder you can't move. With a D9 bulldozer, you just drive over the top of that. So roads ain't level and they're steep, and you're just going down and you cut your sidewalls on the big rocks that come up, three-cornered rocks slide up between your dual and slice the inside dual. You ain't got no tire in there. It's just flat, and you're blow up coming down, and you get nervous. But you learn the tricks of the trade to get by when something goes wrong.
I got it. Well, you know what I love the most about that song, and I kind of alluded to it before we got in there, that I was going to tell you why that song grabbed me so much. Well, I love the fact that you don't even take a half-hearted stab at making the words rhyme in that tune.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. It's like screw rhyming. I'm just gonna spout trucker lingo here for the next few minutes, and there you go. It was awesome. I love that. You know, everybody thinks they got to rhyme. Blue and shoe and love and shove and, you know, things like that. You know, gas, grass.
Yeah, well, yeah. You know, I kind of go, as far as that goes, I go by a songwriting process that comes very natural to me, but it's much like the same one that Roy Orbison had, and he was a very, very much an exceptional songwriter. He wrote a lot of his big hits from on Monument and stuff, and Roy's theory was you go by words, music, and melody when you write a song, and you play it like you want to sing. That was the simplicity of the song, was more so that I wanted to capture the experience more than anything.
Now, you've got some support from some various historical societies. Now, what is your connection with the historical societies, and why have they latched onto you and really got behind you here?
Well, the reason I've been since I was a young boy, I've been interested so much in guitar, and I'm an instrumental guitar player, and I play guitars themed around the 1950s, early 50s, and amps, and that's what I play today is original tube amps and guitars. And they started me with doing presentations on the history of cowboy music.
Now, who started you? What societies are these that you're connected with?
Well, a lot of schools and colleges have worked with me to do presentations about it, but the Wisconsin Historical Society, they're the ones that actually started it, and now I'm on the board of what's called the Jackson County, which would be Wisconsin Historical Society of Jackson County, and I'm a director on that board now, and they wanted me to help preserve the Americana Music Room, thoughts and ideas that the Music Museum of old time, like Gene Autry and WLS Radio out of Chicago and all that stuff that they have preserved that they're keeping, and they really kind of want like a spokesperson or somebody to talk about that has knowledge of these things and tie it into a new artist at the same time, you know, somebody that has late releases out and everything, a little more exciting rather than just talking about traditional music and classic country. It's more so that I took it and put it to use into my own songwriting ability, as well as being able to do a presentation. I can sing some of the songs I've written, and because I was influenced so much by the traditional sound from the 50s.
But it's good that you know your thing isn't really that highly attuned to the mainstream, and that you've got your niche carved out for you, because this next segment that we're going to get into here on the show would completely destroy any chance you would ever have at a mainstream music career. And I just want to check with you, are you game for heading into this dangerous territory I'm about to take us to.